Hey everybody, welcome back to the Financial Elite Podcast. Thanks everybody for subscribing recently. We just got over 100 subscribers. We were able to change the URL. Keep up the good work, guys. If you want to learn more, get in my inbox, hit a like, subscribe, share the video, and let's get into it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Financial Elite Podcast. I got a hot take for you guys. It's inherently more risky being an employee than it is being an entrepreneur. When you guys have an employee mindset and you're an actual employee that's trading time for dollars for somebody else's dream, it's interesting because your managers, your manager's manager, the directors, the VPs, the C-suite, all the way up to the actual captain of the ship has a certain power over your life that they could exert at any time, and there's not really anything you can do about it. I mean, I know from an employee standpoint, if you want to get another job, you got to put a 2-week notice in, right? But they don't got to give you a 2-week notice to fire you, do they? No, of course not. They don't. They can let you go at a moment's notice, especially in a state like Arizona. So how can you protect your family, your loved ones, yourself, your cash flow, all of the things that you have built in your life that require cash flow from crumbling to the ground in the event your employer decides that your production was less than average or something happened in the company? Maybe there was a scandal and they needed to pay a lot of fines for something and that got you guys let go. All kinds of unforeseen disruption happens when you're an employee because you aren't the one that's steering the ship. You're not the one that has true sustainable cash flow built for you because you didn't build a system. Having a system in place empowers you to be able to stop trading time for dollars and take control of the cash flow in your life. If you don't have the ability to acquire real estate, syndicate with us. It doesn't take a lot. All you need to do is open an IVA. It's 21 ounces of silver. Once you open an IVA, you have 21 ounces of silver sitting in there. Don't think like it comes to me or somebody else or someone who recruited you or anything like that. It's literally just in your account. That's how you fund your account and open it. Now that you have that account, you have the ability to make the mental choice of every time I get a paycheck and I divvy up all my expenses, you have an opportunity to decide what you're going to do with that little bit left over, right? Your net operating income. Are you going to put it into a savings account, maybe in a cash position? Are you going to put it into stocks, maybe bonds, mutual funds? Do you have the ability to put it into a 401k with your employer? There's a lot of different things you can do with this money. And ultimately, depending on what your goals are, will depict what you're actually going to want to put that in. For example, if your plan in putting money in any one of those vehicles is to have funds or cash flow available for a rainy day, or to be able to retire one day comfortably so you don't have to work in your old age, or maybe to send the kids to college, or just any type of life expense that you're planning for. It doesn't really matter where you are goal-wise. Most things in life require some amount of cash flow. And the more cash flow you have built, the more sustainable that is, the more peace of mind people tend to have. We know money doesn't buy happiness, but there is something to be said about having all your ducks in a row and having sustainable cash flow built. You're kind of at peace with a portion of your life, so you can focus your energy on whatever else you want to do and expecting change in the world in whatever positive way you see fit, whatever makes you tick. But if your goals are to create sustainable cash flow and to free yourself, there's a few things you should know about each one of these vehicles. If you're putting your money in a cash position, it's inherently in a fiat position, which is inherently devaluing. If you put your money in a cash position, that's a fiat Federal Reserve note position, like you're saving, you're putting in your savings account for a rainy day. Well, that's way outside of your control. One, it's about 96% devalued up to this point, and it's continuing to devalue as our federal government prints more and more money to keep this economy afloat through the coronavirus. This is not the time to be saving money in a fiat position. When these things happen historically, we see switches to gold, we see switches to silver, we see nations changing their forms of currency, whether that's to be a continuation of this fiat system in a crypto form, or if it's a crypto type form that's backed by actual gold and silver. These things are outside of your control. Or let's say you wanted to put your money into a 401k. Well, 401ks took a huge hit. They lost about 30% of their overall because of this COVID-19. We see bonds and mutual funds performing at record low rates. They're barely outpacing inflation. The stock market is super volatile right now. It's not a reflection of our economy at all, and I think most people understand that. So what vehicles do you actually have left to store your wealth and multiply it exponentially so that you and your family have a good future? Well, again, it depends on what your goals are. But one thing's for certain, you should absolutely study what the wealthy do. For example, let's take JP Morgan Chase. They acquired $700 million physical ounces of silver. But why are they buying silver? Are they buying silver because they think it's going to appreciate very heavily? Are they buying silver because they think it's going to hold its value against the devaluating fiat currency in play right now? We think it's the latter. We don't think that silver is technically going to appreciate to $500 to $1,000 an ounce. We think it's going to hold its value comparative to a Federal Reserve note fiat currency. And it will take 500 to 1,000 fiat currency notes to acquire an ounce of silver because of the devaluation in that currency. But silver won't inherently be worth more. You just have the opportunity to protect the value of your stored wealth from this devaluation by moving it into silver so that you and your family are taken care of post-pandemic. Our nation's coming to a currency switch, and we're either going to switch to a Federal Reserve crypto coin or we're going to switch to iCoVest ICOs, intentional community opportunities. Each ICO is 1 ounce of silver, and you have the opportunity to protect the value of your stored wealth today before your fiat currency continues to devalue. When we first started doing this, silver was like $13 an ounce. Now it's trading at upwards of $30 an ounce. So, I mean, it's only going to keep appreciating, holding its value against this fiat currency. So the sooner you get in, the better, guys. We have a bunch of opportunities for you to make money, whether that's a residual royalty from a syndication, now that you own a piece of real estate that's cash flowing for you, or if it's just the appreciation of your silver as it sits in that domiciled vault. You could CoVest some of that silver towards any number of our CPOs to acquire beneficial interest in those CPOs so that you acquire a piece of another business that cash flows. You can keep rinse, lather, repeating this and create cash flow streams from all over the place so that if 1 fails, you have 3 backups. If 2 fails, you have 5 backups. And as these backup streams keep accumulating, you have the ability to create actual sustainable wealth for you and your family. And it's on a toll-free road, so there's nothing better on the market to date. If you have something that you have a question about, get in my inbox. I'd be love to sit down with you on a one-on-one, walk you through it. I'll help you open your IVA account, and let's start syndicating together.